All right, well, good morning. It looks like we are live. Westminster residents, I'm just really happy to spend a few minutes with you today. We really are in an unprecedented time. And I think Mayor Atchison and I, who's joining us today, just wanted to spend a few minutes having a conversation together, but also having a conversation with you about what today and the next few days kind of hold for us. As I mentioned, this conversation is mainly related to COVID, and we're working tirelessly and strategically. But most importantly, we're working hand in hand as a team. The Chamber, Adams, and Jefferson County, our public health departments, our City of Westminster, and countless other organizations across our city, just all coming together, really all hands on deck. And so we wanted to get in front of you and share, what are we doing to try and get to the other side of this? Right now, we know you're hurting, we're personally hurting, and we want to know that there is a future ahead. With that, I just want to turn this over to Mayor Atchison to share a few words with us.
Thank you, Juliet, and good morning to everyone. One of the things that Juliet and I have been talking about before we came on the line is what is the amount of work that's going on, not only in Westminster, but here in the region and across the state, and trying to help and protect our small businesses as we can. But here internally to the city, we have a number of internal city initiatives to support business during the COVID-19 crisis. Our economic emergency response plan was activated last Monday, March the 23rd. We're calling the initiative Project RISE, that's R-I-S-E, and it stands for Reinvestment, Innovation, Strengthening, and Empowering Our Community. It's a cross-department innovation team. It's being led by our innovation manager, Greg Moss, and our Director of Economic Development, John Hall. Currently, the team is focused on the response phase of the crisis. We have four main areas that we're focused on currently: business relationships and outreach, communications, planning and logistics, financial support, and emergency assistance. In the area of business relationships and outreach, we are working with numerous partners, including the Office of Economic Development and International Trade, ODIT, the Small Business Development Center, bordering cities and economic development departments, and of course, the Westminster Chamber. The Westminster Chamber and the city are working together to conduct care calls to local businesses, to check on them and see how the crisis is affecting them and see what currently is needed. We will also be regularly promoting chamber events and helping get the word out to our businesses on what's available to them. Now, speaking on getting the word out, we are posting new information and resources for the business on our economic development website. We're emailing businesses across the city to let them know they have our support and that there are tools out there for them to access right now. And we participated in the Regional Business Forum Week that was live streamed by Channel 9 and included economic development partners from our state and federal partners, as well as neighbors in Arvada, Broomfield, North Bend, and Thornton. Now, I've talked to Juliet. I'm going to provide her a link so that you can go in and see that. It's about an hour-long webcast. If you are a small business owner or an employee of a small business, whether you're currently employed or currently unemployed, the information provided in that hour-long video is a benefit to you. With the financial support and emergency assistance focus, we want to identify and implement financial resources to assist Westminster businesses in recovery. One of our top priorities right now is to develop baseline impact. We want to determine what the impact from COVID-19 will be on our business community by industry. We're currently conducting stress tests, and we are starting to pull data on vacancy rates. We're also working to determine the amount of federal funding that may be available to Westminster from the federal stimulus package, and how the city will be able to address it and access it and to receive those funds. We have also established close partnerships with the SBA to help support distribution of new funding to Westminster businesses. And we are also exploring a city-funded emergency support program that will consist of emergency grants and loans. So this is some of that we're doing right now, Juliet, to try to just get a handle on what is the impact of this. We are strongly in belief, in my conversations as late as an hour ago with Tri-County Health, we still have not reached the peak of this. We're not sure if it's going to still be 4 weeks out, 6 weeks, or 8 weeks. It depends a lot on how the people react to the state orders about keeping themselves clear of others, helping to reduce the opportunity for cross connections or cross infections, and just trying to take care of yourselves on a healthy basis. But right now, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, and thank you for that comprehensive update, Mayor. I know right before we hopped on, you were sharing that you as well have been going back to back through phone calls and various webinars. One of those was with Tri-County, and that they do have some sort of either a one-sheeter or one-pager going in a little bit more on what technically classifies a business as essential. And I know that was kind of a sidebar that you and I had, because there are numerous questions that we've heard from the community on whether or not their business falls into that.
That's true, and I'll link that I'll be sending to you later today. But one of the things that we're being asked about is, can we, as the city, go to the state and ask for an exclusion? Well, that's really not through us. It's really through the health department. Whether it's the Jefferson County Health Department or if it's Tri-County, they're the ones who have to submit the request for exemptions to CDPHE, the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. Right. Cities have no say in it. Now, there have been requests to sign on to different letters and other things like that, but we keep referring them back to, what is your connection? What is it that classifies in your mind that you're an essential business? Most of these essential businesses are taken around medical, healthcare, and food. Mm-hmm. Those are probably some of the top priorities that we see on a recurring basis that are in. And not all healthcares are allowed to stay open as well. Many of them are having to reduce operations, and in some cases, and a dentist as an example, most dental offices are closing because most of the work doesn't require a person to go in to be treated, because it's not a life-threatening issue. That doesn't mean that you can't get services. I know my personal dentist office closed, but it's available if there's a toothache that you need or an infection that you get, that they will open up on a limited basis to do that. But things like going in for cleanings, some dental work, replacing a filling and stuff, unless it's an emergency, they're just not doing them because of the potential spread of the COVID-19.
Right. And I think that's a really good point to mention is, you know, you're looking at things that are necessities that people are going to. That's generally what's already out there. But that doesn't discount that there are other businesses that are open, like for emergency type of services that are out there, or just service-based companies that are still in the area. I know we've had questions on whether it's okay, you know, for plumbers to come over to homes and things like that. So those typical services that either home-based services like that come for a specific type of thing that you might need, those are still available. It's not completely closing the doors on them. That's something good. Awesome. Well, I think that was, you know, I always love having a chance for us to both interface together, because you're very succinct in what you're sharing with people and just the message and delivery of it. And I think it's important just for everybody to know that we'll make those links and resources available in our comments here. You know, our chamber has the Westminster chamber.biz/COVID-19-update page, where we link a lot of the resources, things we find out from our city, county, state, are made available there. And as we're phone banking, we just want you to know that we're calling without, you know, there's no underlying thing that we're trying to get other than finding out how you're doing and seeing if you're still around and ways we can support you. But if there is anything else, it looks like we've got a couple of people here. Peter says, thank you, Mayor, for the update. We also have thank you from Brian Head sharing. Thank you for the update from your end, Mayor. I guess they liked your content more than mine. And then we also have a good morning from another fellow listener. So I think this was a short message. And if anything, if people are watching this on replay, or if you're watching this right now for the first time coming to the page, be sure that you're liking it and following it. Be sure you share this message out. And this was really a message to our entire community from our mayor, from the chamber, just letting you all know that we're all working together as best as we can. This is an effort where we are stronger together. And as we're coming up with either solutions or we find out of various things, you know, the mayor is involved in various conversations that I might not be aware of. And so we are information sharing and making sure that If someone has something the other person doesn't, that we get those resources to each other so that you guys are finding out just in time some solutions and some ways that can fit into your business right now. But I think with that, if there's nothing else, Mayor, we might hop off then.
Just one last piece, Juliet. If there's any questions about what's going on in the city about COVID, go to COVID-19 at City of Westminster, one word, .us. We have set up a specific email address just to try to answer people's questions.
Love that. That's terrific. Yeah, so that's COVID at cityofwestminster.us for city-specific questions that they have on what's going on in Westminster. But thank you for spending your Monday morning with me, Mayor Atchison. I hope we could start every Monday like this together. And for everyone that's tuning in, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful start to the week as we navigate what's ahead and look forward to what the future holds.